Hi, I'm Jimmy. I'm the lead actor of Last Black Man in San Francisco.
I'm Joe. I'm the director, and we're here to talk about how we made it. The film is a love story between a man and a house, inspired in some ways by parts of Jimmie's life.
I always come back to the old house. What if it's empty? What if we just peeked inside?
American cities are changing. We all have our own complicated relationships to it, whether you're a newly arrived person who feels some guilt or complicated feelings about moving to a new place. Everyone is a participant in this. En route to getting the money to make the movie.
We did the Kickstarter. We went over what we had expected to get. That obviously wasn't enough to make a full-length feature, so
we got a chance to make a short film, and it got into Sundance in 2017. That's where we met Christina O from Plan B. It was sort of surreal. Kalia was my producer. Me and Kalia went to the set of Ad Astra, where Dee Dee and Jeremy, who run Plan B, were there making Brad's film. Brad Pitt. I imagined in my head as I'm walking around the set, which is bigger than anything I've ever seen in my life, that Brad's somewhere in front of a green screen hanging from a 200-foot ceiling somewhere. We were expecting it would be a very gracious pass, and they'd say, hey, look guys, cool project, don't think it's right for us. And instead, Jeremy said, we want to do this. We just eventually started crying and hugged each other because it feels like a dream in some ways.
I think he told me in the kitchen, actually. He was like, dude, we got Plan B. I was like, the fuck is Plan B? And then I was like, oh, shit, oh.
That was a birth control company. Yeah. In the opening scene of the film, Jimmy and his best friend are supposed to skate through the city. We wrote it as Jimmy and Mont, his best friend, share a skateboard. I don't skate, so I'm the worst person because I'm coming up with this thing, asking Jimmy to do it.
I was like, hell no. Nah. I was like, what the fuck? What are you, how? We called Tony Vitello from Thrasher.
I was like, Tony, have you ever seen two dudes on one board, going down hills? He was like, hey, anybody know how to fucking ride a board with two dudes on one board?
Everybody's like, nah, dude. So he reached out to the guy that makes boards out of old boards. It was wider than the usual skateboard and a little bit longer. We tried him sitting on the front of the board, that didn't work.
As soon as he puts his hands on Jimmy's shoulders, it feels like friendship. It just feels like these dudes know each other so well. And in fact, that process of doing that, falling together, trying that shit out, that was one of the first bonding experiences you guys had as actors.
It's just you two. Stick together.
You see different sides of people. You see that people aren't one thing. The same dude who might have just pulled a gun on someone is crying about a girl the next day. And I think that complexity lives in everybody. And that's a part of growing up in San Francisco. And so it was important that the movie about the city show that.
You don't get to hate San Francisco unless you love it.